Okay, let's move on to the next question. This question here is from C2 module, okay, June 2009, question 6. Okay, so for the part A, they want us to find the center and the radius of C. Yeah, it's actually pretty similar to the previous few questions, okay? So x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 4y equals to 12. Bracket x squared minus 6x, this one and this one, plus y squared plus 4y equals to 12. X minus 3 square, because this one had divided by 2, subtract negative 3 square, plus y plus 2 square, because plus 4 divided by 2, minus positive 2 square equals to 12. X minus 3 square minus 3 square will be 9, plus y plus 2 square minus 4 equals to 12. From there, minus 9 subtract 4 will be minus 13. So it will be x minus 3 square plus y plus 2 square subtract 13 equals to 12. And next step would be x minus 3 square plus y plus 2 square, and 12 plus 13 would be 25. Therefore, the center would be 3 and negative 2. The reason why this one is negative 2 is, think about this. If y subtracts, negative 2 square, then basically the y coordinate would be negative 2. And for the radius, this one here would be basically, equals to r square. 25 equals to r square. R would be equals to plus or minus 5, and radius cannot be negative, therefore r would be equals to 5. And here's the answer for part A. And for the part B here, they want us to show that the PQ is the diameter of C. So basically, diameter is the longest distance between the points within the circle. So the information that we have is the point P would be negative 1, 1, and the point Q would be 7 and negative 5. And both lies on C. So basically, the 2 points will be on the line of the circle. So PQ would be equals to, let's assume that this one is y2, y1, x2, x1, 7 subtract negative 1 square plus y2 subtract y1 will be negative 5 subtract 1 square equals to 7 subtract negative 1 will be 8. 8 square will be 64. 64 plus negative 5 subtract 1 will be negative 6. Negative 6 square would be 36 equals to 100 would be 10. And the radius is 5. Diameter would be twice the length of the radius. Let's say this one here is radius, and diameter will be twice the length of the radius, so it will be 2r. Therefore, 5 times 2 equals to 10. And so PQ is the diameter of C. Okay, let's move on to part C. They want us to find the coordinate of R. The point R lies on the positive y-axis, and the angle PRQ equals to 90 degrees. So it mentions that R lies on the positive y-axis. So basically, the point R would exist when x is equals to 0, So when x is equals to 0, if we substitute x equals to 0 back into this equation here, 0 square plus y square minus 6 times 0 plus 4y equals to 12. Y square plus 4y, move this thing to the left, will be minus 12 equals to 0. From there, we will have to find the critical value of the y first, would be y plus 6 and y minus 2 equals to 0, because when y times negative 2 will be minus 2y, plus 6y will be 4y, and 6 times negative 2 would be negative 12. So the critical value of the y would be equals to either negative 6 or 2. And it says that point R lies on the positive y-axis. So the coordinate of y has to be greater than 0. So therefore, y would be equals to 2. And the coordinate of R would be 0 and 2. Okay, so 5 marks for part A, 2 marks for part B, and 3 marks for part C. I guess 1 mark is for the method, 1 mark is for working, 1 mark is for getting the correct point for center, and 1 mark is for the working on finding the radius, and 1 mark is for the one correct answer. And for the part B, 2 marks. So 1 mark should be the method, and another mark is for showing that the length of PQ is the diameter of the C. And for the part C, 4 marks. So 1 mark is for the substitution, 1 mark is for working, I guess 2 marks for the working, and 1 mark is for the final answer for the coordinates of R. Okay, let's do one more question here and then we're done with this topic. This question is actually from C2 module, Jan 2010, question 8. For the part A, they want us to find the coordinate of end, which is the center of this circle here, and find the radius of C, which is the radius of this circle. So for the part A, x minus 2 square plus bracket y plus 1 square equals to 169 divided by 4. Okay, so the equation for the circle is x minus a square plus y minus b square equals to r square, right? And the center of this circle would be a and b. So it's pretty obvious that x minus 2, a would be 2, right? And b would be negative 1. Because when x minus 2 square plus y minus negative 1 square would be equals to 169 over 4. This one here would be the answer for part B. But let's focus back on the part A first. Y subtract negative 1 would be equals to y plus 1 anyway. So A would be 2 and B would be negative 1. So the coordinate of n would be 2 and negative 1. And for the part B, this one here should be equals to r square. 169 divided by 4 equals to r square. R would be equals to plus or minus 13 over 2. But radius cannot be negative. So R would be equals to 13 over 2. And for the part C, they want us to find the coordinate of A and the coordinate of B. So basically, this one here and here. Okay, let's assume that this one is x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. And all we know is the chord of AB of the C is parallel to the x-axis, which lie below the x-axis and has the length of 12. So the distance between A and B is 12, and it is parallel to the x-axis. So from there we know that this 2 points are at the same level. Y1 would be equals to y2. And we also know that the perpendicular bisector of this chord will be passing through the center. Because let's say if I draw a line, okay. Let's say this one here is perpendicular bisector, and this one here would be the midpoint between AB. Therefore, the point here would be having the same x coordinate to the center of the circle. Okay, so from now we have to make two equations. Okay, we know that the distance between AB is 12, so the distance for 12 will be equals to root x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Because we all know that y1 would be equals to y2 because they're at the same level. These 2 points are at the same level. So basically, if the same thing subtract same thing would be 0. 0 square would be 0. So would be x2 minus x1 square, and then root the whole thing would be just x2 minus x1. Okay, so here's the first equation. 12 equals to x2 minus x1. From there, we already know that this point here would be the midpoint between AB and are having the same coordinate to the center of the circle. So the midpoint of AB would be x1 plus x2 divided by 2 equals to the x coordinate of n, which is the answer from part A. And this one is x and this one is y, would be 2. Just times 2 for the both side. x1 plus x2 would be equals to 4. x1 would be equals to 4 minus x2. And now all we have to do is to substitute this value back into this equation here. 12 equals to x2 subtract, copy this whole thing down to this bracket, 4 minus x2. 12 equals to x2 subtract 4 plus x2. 12 plus 4, because I'm just going to move this thing to the left. 16 equals to x2 plus x2 will be 2x2. x2 would be equals to 8. And x1 would be, equals to 4 subtract 8 would be negative 4. So this one here would be x1 and x2. 2 x coordinate for 2 points, okay? So the one with the greater value will be on the right. The one with the less number will be on the left. So I'm pretty sure this one will be A and this one will be B. Okay, from now, we have to find the y coordinate as well because they want the coordinate of A and B. So now just replace x equals to 8 into this circle equation, okay? 8 subtract 2 square plus y plus 1 square equals to 169 divided by 4. Y plus 1 square would be equals to 8 minus 2 would be 6. 6 square would be 36, right? 169 over 4 subtract 36 would be 6.25. Y plus 1 would be equals to plus or minus 2.5. Therefore, y can be equals to either, let's say 2.5, okay, positive value 2.5. Subtract 1 would be 1.5, or minus 2.5 subtract 1 would be minus 3.5. But this question here has mentioned that the points are lying below x-axis, so should be negative. So the points are, for the point A, okay, negative 4 and minus 3.5. And for the point B, okay, 8 and minus 3.5. Okay, let's move on to the part D. Show that the angle ANB equals to 134.5 degree to the nearest 0.1 of the degree. Okay, so ANB, what is ANB? Basically, starting with A, N, and B. And they want us to show that this angle is equals to 134.8 degree. So we already know that the radius would be 13 over 2 from the answer in part B. 13 over 2, 13 over 2. And we also know the x coordinate of the midpoint between A, B would be 2. Because if this one is negative 4, okay, and 8, negative 4 plus 8 would be 4, right? And 4 divided by 2 would be 2. So this distance here would be 2. And in order to find the angle between the midpoint and the B would be 8 subtract 2 would be 6. Okay, so let's draw a diagram now. Let's say this one here is N, B, okay, and the midpoint between the chord. Let's make it as m, okay? So now we have the radius, which is 13/2. This one has right angle, and this one has will be 6. And they want us to find the angle of 2 times m and b, okay? First thing first we have to do is to find the angle of m and b first. So it would be sine theta, let's say this one is theta, equals to 6/13/2 would be 12/13. The angle would be approximately 67.38. So now we already know half of the angle. This angle here, okay, with the purple color would be 67.38. From there, all we have to do is to times this value by 2, which would be 2 theta would be equals to nearly 134.8 degree, which I can show the angle of A and B is equals to 134.8. Okay, let's move on to the part E. In part E, they want us to find the length AP, give the answer in a 3 significant figures. So the length between A and P, okay? And another information that I have is the tangent to the C at the point P and B meets at the point P. So there's a tangent at the point A, okay? Let's say this one here would be the tangent of the circle at the point A. From there, we already know that the angle between the gradient of this radius and the tangent at that point would be 90 degrees, which would be perpendicular. And we already know that the angle of A and P would be this one here. This angle here would be equals to the angle of N and B, which we have already found from the answer in the part D. This answer here, okay, M and B would be 67.38, okay? So this one here would be 68.38 would be same as the angle here. From there, we can already know that we can use the Pythagoras Theorem to solve the length between P and A. Let's say this one is A, this one is P, and this one here would be N. And AN would be the radius already, so would be 13 divided by 2 would be 6.5. This one here is right angle, and the angle between A and P would be same as N and B, so would be 67.38. So now it's pretty obvious that we can use the tangent. Says 67.83 equals to AP divided by 6.5. And tangent 67.38 times 8.5 would be AP equals to 15.6 in 3 significant figures. Okay, for the marking, for the part A, it carries 2 marks. So I guess 1 mark is definitely for the correct answer for the correct coordinate for N, and 1 mark is for the working, I guess. And for the part B, if you get this right, you get this right, okay? And for the part C, it carries 5 marks. 1 mark is for correct x coordinate for A, 1 mark is for correct x coordinate for B, definitely, and I guess 1 mark is for getting the correct y coordinate, and I guess 1 mark is for method, 1 mark is for the working. So 5 marks for part C. And for the part D, 2 marks, okay? So I guess 1 mark is for the method, and 1 mark is for showing the final working. So for part A, 2 marks as well. I guess 1 mark is also for the method, because you really need to think of the triangle of A and P. And another mark is for the final correct answer here.